Hi ladies, today we're talking about the 5 exercises that can change your glutes forever. Join me, let's do it. Okay, so before we get into the 5 exercises that are my top exercises to change your glutes forever, we have to cover 2 very important topics. You need a surplus in calories. Right? You can't add muscle mass if you're constantly in a deficit. You're constantly trying to drop body fat and drop weight and you're undercutting calories. You cannot add muscle mass. So if your main goal, one of your top goals is to add quality glutes, add strength, add muscle mass, you have to be in a surplus of calories. Athlean-XX for Women has great diets on there, nutrition plans that can help you be in a surplus for adding muscle mass. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2, we gotta cover this before I move on, is volume and consistency. Making sure that you're training your glutes enough and training them consistently is super important. I'd much rather have a client who is every week going in there and hitting it, moderate intensity, but they're every week. They're not skipping a week on their glutes, rather than someone who's like, I hit it so hard, I had an awesome workout, but man, I've missed 2 weeks of it. So consistency is key over time. Okay, remembering those 2 things. Being an expert and being in this field for about 14 years now, I can tell you those 2 things go a long way. So focus on those 2 first, okay? Let's move on to the next, the 5 exercises. So big muscle group, right? Understanding the anatomy of our glutes, big muscle group. And glutes for me has been something I have really tried to focus on growing because naturally I'm very quad dominant. So if you ask me, I have had a lot of years and a lot of practice of figuring out what works well for growing the glutes. So the number 1 exercise that I'll incorporate in any program for a gal who wants to grow glutes or a guy that wants to grow glutes is the hip thrust. Okay, we all know it, it's very common, but the hip thrust within that is different tempos, different styles. How do we incorporate those as we go? The hip thrust is there as an exercise, but you can also incorporate different strategies and tempos within that one. So for example, if you're doing a barbell hip thrust, one of the top ways to mix it up is adding a hold at the bottom or at the top, okay? So if we're just hip thrusting away, right? Maybe you've done these for weeks on end, you're super consistent with the hip thrust. Try adding this 1 variable into this exercise. Up and hold. Literally 5 seconds. If you need to put your timer on to help hold you accountable, 5-second hold. Okay, drop again, and up and hold. And just contract and develop that mind-muscle connection as you're holding for whole 5 seconds. Okay, and then we can go again, up and hold. Literally, I can do 5 reps of these, and it is so effective. Okay, and it changes the way that you're lifting. Yes, hip thrusters, everyone knows that they work. But if you're always doing them the exact same way every single time, your body will adapt. So within each exercise, oh my gosh, fire. 1 more, this is 5. Within each exercise, make sure that you're adding some variety and tempo difference changes everything. Whew. So that was 5. And literally holding 5 seconds each time makes such a big difference. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2, I want to go into deadlifts. So within deadlifts again, there are different forms and variations. One of the major ways that you can change that up is slowing the deadlift down and having more of the mind-muscle connection with your finish, with the pull through at the top, okay? So, for example, if I'm deadlifting, right, even sumo, so a little wider, there's various forms, okay? I'm coming up, and as I finish at the top, I'm pulling through, which they call an American deadlift. Pull through, squeeze your hips, okay? I'm gonna show you from the side. This is the second favorite exercise of mine for building those glutes. Coming down, when you come up, pull up, and contract the glutes hard. You have to push. It's almost like the end of that hip thrust, correct? Coming down, and the right hand, drive the hips through and contract your glutes hard, okay? Take your time. I'm just gonna do 5 here. 2 more. Chest up and drive through. So that's a great way, right at the finish, within deadlifts, make sure you push through like you're finishing that hip thrust motion. That's exercise number 2. Moving into exercise number 3 is single leg. A single leg exercise is super important. Why? Because it forces us to challenge each leg separately. If I'm constantly squatting and using both legs, or leg pressing using both legs, one might create more of an imbalance over the other one because of just it being stronger. Okay, so pistol squats are one that is great for the glutes, and you have to do it with one leg only, okay? Up and okay. You need to, you can tap on the ground to get used to it. That's a modification, okay? But ultimately, you're trying to use one leg, pushing through the heel, stand up tall. Sit back in it, stand up tall, okay? You can add weight to these as well. What's great about these is you can almost do them anywhere, because you know you all have couches and steps at home. So these are great to do as a home exercise. So this is number 3, single leg. One more. So single leg exercises are great to help the imbalances, unilateral exercising. Even if you have access to a gym, doing a single leg leg press, doing a pistol squat, such as what I just displayed, or a single leg lunge, something to that effect where you're just using that one leg and focusing just on that one side of the glute. Okay, moving on, I want to show you a abductor exercise, and there are various forms to this as well. So I'm not saying particularly you have to do these exercises this way, but it's the angles and the direction and how we're choosing our exercises every time that we focus on the glutes to get the most bang for our buck. So an abductor exercise, I can show you. Okay, I'm gonna hold a plate on the side, up on my hip. Toes are pointing out straight, and I'm letting the weight plate rest into my leg. So my abductor up high, glute medius, pass to lift that 25-pound weight plate. I'm gonna lead with the heel, not with the toe. If I open up my toe this way, it's all quad. Okay, so keep the toe pointing straight. And I'll do 5 here. Okay, switching legs. So most important is making sure you're hitting the different angles. So there's plenty of other machines, the abductor machine at the gym. These are great for at-home workout if you have a weight plate. You can also do abductors with a resistance band. Okay, so weight plate there, I'll show you a resistance band. All you gotta do is throw it over, connect it, and you're doing kickouts, okay? So same motion, kicking that way, toe is forward, out, out, out. Okay, so the band, you want to be on something sturdy, right? And then squeezing the abductor. Okay, so you have that direction, that range of motion, which is really important to making sure the glutes grow and you have an effective program. So moving on to our very last exercise, hyper extensions. And this is involving glutes, and we're gonna have motions that are either the low back extension or you're moving the lower half. So either the upper half of the body is going hyper extension mode to contract the glutes, or it's the lower half that is coming back and contracting the glutes. So let me show you that one. Once again, there's several ways and machines, different exercises to do hyperextensions. So it just depends if you're at home, if you're at the gym, and what you have available to you. Okay, so hyperextension is this way, using the lower half. I'm gonna hang on to my bench here and hyperextend now. So you can see I'm contracting, my legs are the weight, I'm contracting my glutes. As I'm lifting my legs are what is causing my glutes to actually work. So relaxing the low back, pelvis tilting, and then contracting. If you have access to a low back extension, hyperextension machine, you can hold a weight plate, put your feet in, and do hyperextension, okay? So that's also the same movement. But those are the best 5 glute exercises that I have developed over a long period of time. I've seen other clients grow glutes off of these. I've got a lot of testimonials of clients getting great results this way. And I myself have used a lot of these exercises after dabbling in plyometrics for so long and thinking, okay, I need to be on the step mill every day. No. Glute exercises have to be heavy, have to be targeted, because it's such a big muscle group. So give these a try, and hopefully these tips and exercises really helped you guys. Thanks for joining me. I'm trainer Amy Jo. Check me out on Instagram at Amy Jo Fitness. And check out Athlean-XX for women's programs just like this one. On their website, I have great exercises and programs that can help get you the goals that you're after. So check them out, leave a comment below. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next time.